My name's Tom Bennett, and I'm just a regular guy trying to keep things together for my little girl, Ellie. She's 9 years old, with a smile that could light up a coal mine, but she's got a bad hip from a car accident 2 years back. Doctors say she needs surgery to walk right again. Something about fixing the joint so she doesn't limp through life. We've been saving every dime for it. Me working extra shifts at the lumber yard, my wife Sarah picking up weekend hours at the diner. We had 12 grand stashed away in a savings account, marked Ellie's future. That money was our hope, our ticket to seeing her chase her friends without wincing. Then my cousin Jake happened. Jake's the kind of guy who's always got a scheme, selling knockoff watches 1 week, flipping rusted cars the next. He's my Aunt Linda's kid, and growing up, he was like a brother to me. We'd fish down at Miller's Creek, split a Coke, when we didn't have cash for two. But somewhere along the line, Jake went sideways. Last month, he showed up at my house, all charm and desperation, saying he'd hit rock bottom. Needed a loan to get back on his feet. 10 grand, he said, just to cover rent and start some new business. I told him no way. That money was Ellie's. He begged, promised he'd pay it back in a month, swore on his mom's life. I held firm. Should have known better than to trust his word. 2 days later, I get a call from the bank. $12,000, gone. Every cent we'd saved for Ellie's surgery, drained overnight. Turns out Jake had gotten into my account. Don't ask me how. Maybe he swiped my debit card last time he was over, or guessed my PIN from some old birthday joke. The bank flagged it as fraud, but the money was already spent. I called the cops, filed a report, handed over my statements, every receipt I had. They took it all down, said it's a civil matter, and told me I'd probably have to take it to small claims court. Not the punch-in-the-face justice I wanted, but at least it's on paper now. Official. That's something, right? Meanwhile, Jake's living it up. He's posting on Facebook. Yeah, Facebook, like some middle-aged bragger, showing off his new life in Miami. Pictures of him on a rented boat, holding a drink with one of those little umbrellas, wearing sunglasses that probably cost more than my truck payment. One post had him flexing in a designer jacket, captioning it, "Finally free, chasing the dream." I did the math in my head, boat rental, plane ticket, that jacket. It's my 12 grand he's burning through, and he's got the nerve to flaunt it. Sarah's furious, but she's the calm one usually. She sat me down that night, said, "Tom, we can't let him win. Ellie deserves better." She's right. Ellie's been asking why we're so quiet lately, why I stopped marking X's on the calendar for her surgery day. I told her we hit a snag, that we're working it out. She just nodded, her big brown eyes trusting me, and said, "Okay, Daddy, I can wait." 9 years old, and she's tougher than I am. Breaks my heart. Then my brother Mike steps in. Mike's the family fixer, runs a little mechanic shop, always got a wrench in his hand. He's been sniffing around Jake's trail, pulling up stuff I didn't even think to check. Turns out Jake's been spinning yarns to everyone. To our Uncle Dave, he said I gave him the money as a gift to start over. To our cousins, he's claiming it's a loan we agreed on, no big deal. To his mom, Aunt Linda, he's saying I handed it over because family helps family. Every story's different, but they all paint me as the jerk who's hounding him over nothing. Aunt Linda and Uncle Pete called me last night, voices all soft and peacemaking. They offered to chip in. 2 grand, they said, paid out over 6 months. 2 grand for 12? For Ellie's legs? I told them straight up, I'd rather see you in court. They didn't say much after that. Just a long, heavy quiet on the line. Guess they're starting to see what Jake's really made of. Me? I'm just getting started. Jake thinks he's untouchable, sipping cocktails in the sun. But I've got Mike, I've got proof, and I've got a little girl who's counting on me. He's about to learn family ain't a free pass to screw me over. It's been a week since Jake cleaned out Ellie's surgery fund, and I'm still waking up every morning with a knot in my gut. I'm Tom Bennett, by the way, just a guy from a small town who thought family meant something solid. Guess I was wrong. After the cops told me to take it to small claims court, I figured I'd better start building a case. I ain't no lawyer, but I've got a temper and a decent head on my shoulders, so I've been piecing things together. My brother Mike's been a godsend, too. He's got a nose for trouble and a knack for finding dirt, and he's all in on this. Jake's still down in Miami, acting like he's some big shot. His Facebook's a parade of nonsense, pictures of him at beach bars, posing with girls in bikinis, even a video of him tossing dollar bills at a street performer. "Living my best life," he wrote under one. Best life? That's my daughter's future he's throwing around. Sarah caught me staring at my phone last night, jaw clenched so tight I could have cracked a walnut. She put her hand on my shoulder and said, "Tom, don't let him get in your head. We'll fix this." She's tougher than she looks, my Sarah. Keeps me grounded when I want to drive down there and drag him back by his fancy sunglasses. Mike called me yesterday with some news. He'd been scrolling through Jake's posts. Yeah, he's still got him as a friend online. Says it's recon, and noticed something. Jake tagged a pawn shop in one of his pictures, showing off a gold chain he bought. Mike drove over to the next town, found a buddy who knows a guy at a pawn shop chain, and asked some questions. Turns out Jake's been unloading stuff, electronics, jewelry, even a guitar he probably never played. Mike figures he's burning through the cash fast and trading it for quick buys to keep up his act. He's a moron, Tom, Mike said, laughing through the phone. He's leaving a trail a mile wide. That gave me an idea. I started screenshotting everything Jake's been posting. Every photo, every caption, every stupid, wish you were here, tag. Mike's helping me match it up. Dates, locations, $signs. It's like a puzzle, and every piece is another nail in Jake's coffin. Ellie's surgery was supposed to be next month, and we had to cancel the spot. Called the hospital yesterday, told them we're back on the waiting list. The lady on the phone was nice about it, but I could hear the pity in her voice. We'll get you in as soon as we can, Mr. Bennett. As soon as we can ain't soon enough when your kid's hobbling around the playground, pretending it don't hurt. Then Jake's parents, Aunt Linda and Uncle Pete, decided to play mediators again. They showed up at my house last night, uninvited, with a plate of brownies like that's gonna fix anything. Linda's all teary-eyed, saying, Tom, we know Jake messed up, but he's family. We'll help you out $2,000, little by little. Let's keep this quiet. I set the brownies on the counter and looked her dead in the eye. Linda, your boy stole 12 grand from my crippled daughter. 2,000 don't cut it, and I ain't keeping nothing quiet. Court's where this is going. Pete just stared at his shoes, didn't say a word. They left the brownies behind, but I tossed them in the trash after they pulled out of the driveway. Ain't got no appetite for guilt trips. Ellie overheard some of it. She's sneaky like that, quiet on her feet even with a limp. She came up to me after, tugging my sleeve. Daddy, why is everybody mad? Did I do something wrong? I scooped her up, set her on the couch, and told her the truth, simple as I could. No, baby girl. Your cousin Jake took some money we needed for your surgery. We're just trying to get it back. Her little face scrunched up, thinking hard. But he's family. Why'd he do that? I didn't have an answer, not one that wouldn't break her heart more. Some people make bad choices, Ellie. Don't mean we stop fighting for what's right. This morning, Jake texted me. First time he's reached out since he bolted. Hey man, I know you're pissed, but chill out. It's just money. I'll get it back to you eventually. Ellie's tough, she'll be fine. Tough? She's 9, you jackass. I didn't text back. Instead, I called Mike and told him to keep digging. Jake's out there partying, but I'm here plotting. He thinks he's untouchable, but he don't know me as well as he thinks. I've hauled logs bigger than him, and I'll haul his sorry backside to court if it's the last thing I do. Ellie's counting on me, and I ain't letting her down. I'm Tom Bennett, and I'm starting to feel like a hunter tracking a deer that don't know it's been spotted. It's been 2 weeks since Jake swiped 12 grand from Ellie's surgery fund, and every day's a mix of rage and hope. My little girl's still limping around, asking when she'll get to run like her friends, and I'm still telling her, soon, sweetheart. It's a promise I'm fighting to keep. The bank's investigating, but they're slow as molasses, so I'm building my own case. My brother Mike's my right-hand man, and he's turning up gold. Jake's still down in Miami, acting like he's king of the beach. His Facebook's a circus, pictures of him at some rooftop club, sipping neon drinks, even a video of him riding a jet ski, hollering, "This is the life." I watched that one 3 times, fist balled up, because I know the jet ski's got my daughter's name on it. Mike's been screenshotting it all, and he's got a buddy at the lumber yard who's good with numbers. They've been adding it up, club tabs, jet ski rentals, that gold chain from the pawn shop. It's already past 10 grand. Jake's blowing through Ellie's future like it's pocket change, and he's dumb enough to broadcast it. Mike came over yesterday with a grin that said he'd struck oil. Tom, you ain't gonna believe this, he said, pulling out his phone. He'd found an old post Jake made on a car forum. Guy's always been into beat-up Mustangs, bragging about a deal he'd scored. Turns out he bought a junker down in Florida, fixed it up with cash, and flipped it for profit. Mike tracked the buyer through a comment thread, called the guy pretending to be a mechanic looking for work. The buyer spilled it, paid Jake 4 grand in cash last week. That's our money, no question. Mike's got the guy's name and number now, says it's evidence Jake's got no excuse about being broke. Meanwhile, the family's cracking apart like dry timber. Aunt Linda called me this morning, voice all shaky. Tom, we saw Jake's posts. We didn't know it was this bad. Can't we work it out? I told her working it out means Jake pays back every dime, not some pity offer of 2 grand over half a year. She got quiet, then said Uncle Pete's talking to a lawyer, not against me, but to figure out how to handle Jake. Guess they're finally waking up. My cousin Rachel, she's Jake's sister, texted me too. I'm so sorry, Tom. He's out of control. I'm on your side. First time she's picked a team, and it feels good to have someone else in the ring. But not everyone's seeing the light. Our Uncle Dave called last night, gruff as ever. Tom, you're stirring up trouble over money? Jake's young, he'll figure it out. Let it go. I shot back. Dave, he stole from my kid's surgery fund. You gonna tell Ellie to let it go when she's limping at Christmas? He huffed and hung up. Half the family's siding with him, saying I'm too hard on Jake, that he's just finding himself. The other half's starting to whisper about what a mess he is, but they're too chicken to step in. Only Mike and Rachel are all in with me, and that's enough for now. Ellie's picking up on the tension. She caught me and Sarah arguing about it, quiet arguing, but she's sharp. Came into the kitchen with her stuffed bear and asked, is cousin Jake in trouble because of me? Sarah knelt down, hugged her tight, and said, no, honey. He's in trouble because he made a bad choice. We're fixing it. Ellie nodded, but I saw the worry in her eyes. Later, she asked if we could still go to the park. I took her, watched her hobble after her friends, grinning through the pain. That's my fuel, Every step she takes keeps me going. This afternoon, Jake called. Not a text, a real call. I picked up, ready to unload, but he beat me to it. Tom, man, you're killing me with this. I'm not a thief. I'm just borrowing. Ellie's fine. She's a kid. She'll bounce back. Why are you making me the bad guy? I kept my voice low, cold. Jake, you took 12 grand from a 9-year-old surgery fund. You're posting jet skis and gold chains. You tell me who the bad guy is. He laughed, and said, you're so dramatic. I'll pay you when I can. Relax. Then he hung up. Relax? I wanted to smash my phone, but I called Mike instead. He's digging deeper, I said. Mike just chuckled. Good. Let him. We've got him cornered. I'm meeting a lawyer next week. Mike found one who does free first visits. Family's already grumbling about me lawyering up over this, but I don't care. Jake's throwing a party down in Miami this weekend, posted an invite online, calling it a beach bash blowout. I saw the RSVPs, dozens of strangers ready to drink my money away. He's got no clue I'm closing in. Let him party. Every photo's another rope around his neck, and I'm tying the knot tight. I'm Tom Bennett, and this whole mess with Jake's starting to feel like a bad movie I can't turn off. It's been 3 weeks since he snatched 12 grand from Ellie's surgery fund, and I'm running on coffee and stubbornness. My little girl's still waiting for her shot to walk right, and I'm still waiting for justice. My brother Mike's been my rock, digging up dirt on Jake like a bloodhound, and we're finally seeing some cracks in that Miami clown show Jake's been running. Last weekend was his big beach bash blowout. He'd been hyping it on Facebook for days, pictures of tiki torches, a rented sound system, even a pig roast he bragged about paying cash for. Best night of my life coming up, he posted. I stared at that pig roast photo, thinking how it's Ellie's surgery money sizzling on that spit. Mike told me to cool it, said we'd use it against him. He was right. Jake's party turned into a gold mine. See, Mike's got a friend, Carlos, who's a bartender down in Miami. Owes Mike a favor from way back when Mike fixed his truck for free. Carlos was working a gig near Jake's bash, so Mike asked him to swing by, play tourist, snap some pics. Carlos went all out, sent us a dozen photos and a couple videos. Jake's there, strutting around in a Hawaiian shirt, handing out drinks like he's some big-time host. In one video, he's holding up a wad of cash, yelling, shout out to my Northern Roots for funding this paradise. Northern Roots? That's me, you idiot. My money. Carlos caught it all, clear as day. Monday morning, I'm sitting at the kitchen table with Sarah, going through Carlos's haul. She's shaking her head, muttering he's got no shame. Then we hit the jackpot, a picture of Jake tossing that cash wad to a DJ, saying something about keeping the party alive. Mike ran the numbers with his lumberyard buddy, pig roast, sound system, booze, DJ. Adds up to at least 3 grand, maybe 4. That's on top of the jet ski and pawn shop junk. Jake spent every dime of Ellie's fund, and he's dumb enough to wave it in our faces. The family's buzzing now. Rachel, Jake's sister, saw the posts and called me, fuming. Tom, I can't believe him. He's laughing about it. She forwarded me a text Jake sent her, saying, tell Tom to lighten up. It's just a party. She's done with him, says she's ready to back me in court if it comes to that. Aunt Linda and Uncle Pete saw the videos too. Mike sent them Carlos's stuff, no sugarcoating. Linda called me that night, crying. Tom, we didn't raise him like this. We'll make it right. I asked how. We're selling his old motorcycle, she said. It's worth maybe 3 grand. It's a start. 3 grand's better than 2, but it's still a quarter of what he took. I told her I'd take it, but court's still on the table. Uncle Dave's still playing devil's advocate. He cornered me at the gas station yesterday, said, Tom, you're tearing us apart over this. Jake's a screw-up, but he'll come around. I pointed at my truck, where Ellie was waiting in the passenger seat, leg propped up. Tell her to wait for come around, Dave. She's 9. He walked off, grumbling. The family's split clean in 2 now. Half think I'm the villain for not letting it slide. Half think Jake's a disgrace but won't lift a finger. Only Mike, Rachel, and now Linda and Pete are in my corner. Ellie's asking harder questions. She saw me printing Jake's Facebook posts, evidence, I told her, and sat on the couch, picking at her bear's fur. Daddy, why's Jake so mean? Did I make him mad? I sat next to her, pulled her close. No, baby. He's mean because he's selfish. You didn't do nothing wrong. She nodded, but her eyes were wet. Later, I took her to the park again. She tried kicking a soccer ball, fell, got up grinning. I'll get it next time, she said. Next time's what I'm fighting for. Tuesday's my lawyer meeting. Guy's name's Dan, does free consults. Mike says he's sharp, used to handle theft cases for a big firm. I've got a folder thick with screenshots, Carlos's pics, the bank report, even the text Jake sent Rachel. But the real kicker came last night. Jake posted a rant on Facebook public because he's too arrogant to lock it down. Some people can't handle seeing you succeed, he wrote. Family's supposed to support you, not drag you down. Guess I know who's real now. Comments piled up, some buddies egging him on, but more folks calling him out. Ain't that the guy who took his cousin's kid's money? One wrote. Jake deleted it fast, but Mike got a screenshot. He's slipping. Party's over, and the truth's spilling out. Linda's selling that bike tomorrow, says she'll wire me the cash. Jake don't know yet, but he's about to find out I ain't playing. Dan's gonna love this folder. Ellie's surgery's still on hold, but I'm clawing it back. $1, one lie at a time. Jake's got a storm coming, and I'm the thunder.